No.
And we're live! Woo!
Yeah!
Yeah!
My man! Don't
So
hit the X, please.
they've already hit the X. They hit the X months ago. Hey, Diego put a comment on our last one on the YouTube page.
Oh,
Perfect.
I liked it. Thanks, Deeks.
Yeah. So, and it was because you said, like, oh, comment!
Oh, really?
So he did comment, and none of us read it. Except for Napoleon.
I just assumed no one was watching.
So we got Diggs. Diggs is still around. He's our loyal
He's
a
good.
loyal customer. He doesn't listen sometimes if he hasn't seen the movie, which makes sense.
Makes sense.
Right.
Because we spoiled it.
We
Hell out of those movies.
spoil, which today will be another spoiler deep podcast because we will be spoiling Blade Runner. Was it 2059? 2049?
Close.
Yeah.
You
You
already know where your head's
I
at.
think Blade Runner 2,
Blade Runner
the
2.
sequel.
Yeah.
I could have done any of those, but I
Blade
chose to say Blade Runner 59, 2059,
That's
and
the
be
sequel.
wrong about it.
That's the next one.
That's 3.
Again,
That's
good.
3, yeah.
10 years from now.
10
Just 10 years?
Yeah?
Yeah,
I
okay.
can't wait. Can't wait to see what excitement unfolds. The new Blade Runner.
Yeah, well, it's already feeling incoherent.
Pretty incoherent.
It's incoherent.
So we got Napoleon here, Black Panther shirt. Woo! Good looking shirt. Oh, that ginger ale.
Step in the spotlight.
Except in the spotlight.
I like to
I
say,
I like that costume.
It's a good costume.
even though this podcast has no sponsors, I think ginger ale is the sponsor.
Great.
Should we reach out to Canada Dry specifically?
Give me
Hit up
Seagram's.
Seagram's,
Let me see. Whatever one wants it. I want ginger ale as a sponsor.
Safeway.
I don't care if we ever need a big sponsor and Sony's coming in we're gonna sponsor you. Nope. I'm holding out for ginger ale. We got Tom drinking a ginger ale, wearing a tank top.
Loving it. Loving the ginger ale. It was hot the last couple days, so I figured
Yeah,
it was going to be hot today.
not that hot.
Not at all,
Not that
really.
hot.
Great
Well, you're welcome. If I hadn't worn a tank top, it would have been sweltering. So, you're welcome.
I thank you for that. That is helpful.
You wore a tank top yesterday. It was sweltering.
Yeah, come on,
My man!
It was preemptive.
Rob wearing Star Wars shirt, looking good.
Oh, thanks.
No hat, no Crater Lake hat, which is
Oh, yeah.
always a little bit of a disappointment.
See,
But
everyone hates the hat. You're the only one who likes the hat.
Nobody has ever hated that.
Nobody?
have we commented how much we hate the hat?
Like the rest of the world hates it.
You feel
Tom hates
well,
it.
Tom,
I hate that hat.
Tom is Tom the rest of the
Base
world.
the world off of his views.
No.
That hat is awful.
Yeah, don't base anything off what Tom likes. He's sucking. No, never mind.
So it's a guarantee it's good.
Yeah? Alright, it'll be back.
I'm looking forward to it. Charles, what are you wearing? Oh, nothing. He's not here. Charles is the unfortunate dicklick of the day. As you can tell, the five can never actually be together.
No.
So we're somewhat like the Justice League. We're a shit show. Somebody's not there. Somebody's hanging around in the background pretending like they're not going to be in the movie, but they're going to be in the movie.
Clearly going to be in the movie.
And then there's me. I'm wearing my Mario Brothers shirt.
I like it.
That Mario on there. It's been approved already. I think everybody seems to like it.
Is it rough that the toadstool that he's carrying has a smile? You know he's gonna eat that bastard.
He doesn't think. He thinks he's going on an adventure.
He's like, oh, helping Mario out today by being lunch.
He eats the certain mushrooms, right? But like Toad, he doesn't eat like Toad.
Oh, that's weird. I guess
He doesn't eat the ones with faces.
But that one has
Faces.
faces. They all have faces.
They do?
Everything has faces in that world.
The bullets.
The clouds.
Really? When you get I think the game I always remember the most is Super Mario Bros. 3. When you go to get a mushroom, it has a face?
Yes. Smiles.
It does?
At least has eyeballs.
I don't think so.
It has eyeballs, but Super Mario World, he's smiling.
The mushroom.
Yes.
Like the mushroom that you jump to get big
Yes.
has a face.
Yes. The Mario 3, I think it's just eyes.
Oh yeah,
World is a smile.
it's got eyes.
It's clear as day.
I think the original Mario didn't have eyes or anything. It was just a mushroom like that.
I don't know what's bothering me now, though. Well, moving on from that stellar conversation. Riveting.
Can't see anything on that one.
Yeah.
Not enough detail in that game.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah, that one was.
I don't know how to take
But
it
then
now.
Super Mario 3 definitely got them eyes.
Do we have confirmation he eats the mushroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Where?
It was either like a cartoon or like a coloring book. I remember him eating it
Definitely got
and
them.
getting big. Remember that?
It's always been an eat
Yeah.
the mushroom
I mean,
suggested, right?
I assume that's what he did, but then he has the fire flower.
What else would he
I'm
do?
assuming he doesn't eat the flower.
He eats that flower.
He eats that flower just straight up.
I don't think he just rubs it all over his body.
So he's just like a fucking monster.
He's a monster.
He's a fucking monster of the world. Like,
Monster.
he's not saving anybody.
No,
Except for Peach. He doesn't give a shit about the world.
right. That's all he wants to do is get with Peach.
So then he puts on like that skinned frog suit. He skins the frog before it throws the suit on, like, yeah, ribbit. He jumps around.
Pretends he's the frog.
You know, skins a raccoon for his fucking.
He's skinning those animals. That's a suit of skin.
They started adding suits, and you just ruined it for me. He skinned a penguin. I think there's like a kangaroo or something in there. He's just
Skinning.
taking out animals left and right and wearing them.
So he's a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit.
We all
Well,
do
he's
it.
just trying to like save Peach because he just wants
Is
to
she-
bang, right?
Yeah, that's all he wants to do is just bang.
Bang Peach.
Yeah. I don't know if it works out for him though.
I don't think he ever gets to bang.
You sure? Because she just captured every.
Yeah. I think she just gives him like a kiss on the cheek.
I mean, what's Bowser doing with her?
He's
He's
banging.
banging.
He's for
Where do
sure.
you think Bowser Jr. came from?
She came out as or Bowser Jr. was around and he was calling her mom.
And
so.
she didn't say like, that's impossible.
Bowser Jr. calls her mom?
Well, he thought it was her mom when he debuted in Super Mario Sunshine, for anyone who cares. But she calls
not
her
like, she's not like Mario. It can't be my kid.
like we've never had
This
sex.
is not a thing. She's like, Mom.
Oh
But
man!
that's not confirmation.
Bowser Jr., huh? Is Bowser in that game too?
Yeah. He's in a game, but it's
He's huge. He's always a different size. Sometimes he's Godzilla. Sometimes he's
Are the rest
Mario
of his
size.
kids like? Did they stick around?
Yeah, because don't you fight like all
They
those
come-
other-
There's like 8 or 9 in 3, right?
They get eliminated pretty much after the Super Nintendo, and then like Nintendo 64 days, it's pretty much, and GameCube, it's like Bowser Jr. And then everyone's kind of like, hey, what about these other kids? So now they're starting to kind of resurface.
They retconned them.
I see.
They're not as kids anymore. There was like generals.
Oh, really? Okay.
Which is pretty standard of a dictatorship.
Is that dude that like
Make
flies
their
around?
family the generals?
Is that dude that flies around on the cloud? Was that supposed to be one of his kids?
No,
No,
No.
Just throwing those fucking spiked.
no, it's just
Fucking
a
things
normal.
he's just like a creature.
But then he's cool and he's like nice to you in 64 because he's the guy.
Well, one of them.
Isn't he the camera guy? Oh, there's two.
Well, there's other
There's
ones.
more. It's like a race of them.
Oh, okay, fuck me. Okay.
Yeah, that
Sorry.
One, that one's the cameraman, but you actually fight other Lakitus in the game.
Okay, I didn't even know they had a name.
Yeah. A couple of them in Mario
You wearing a
Kart.
shirt.
One's running on the lights, one pulls you out of the
Yeah.
pits, takes your money.
I always thought it was the same guy.
He does take that money.
Thought it was the same guy.
Same guy.
Okay.
Red shirt.
Mario shirt spawned this unfortunate conversation.
It's incoherent.
Yes.
It really is.
So today's episode is about Blade Runner.
Blade Runner 59, right? So Blade Runner 2, also known as Blade Runner 2049.
Got it that time.
All right.
Sometimes some people call it 59.
I've heard it both ways.
Can we start this over?
That's not what we do.
Is this movie warrant like the dick scale?
If you guys wanted it,
Might as well.
I mean, that's just how we roll.
It's the only way we do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not even a real question. Okay, it was just throwing it out there.
Gotcha.
Naps?
It's firm.
Firm?
It's firm. It's a firm dick. It's impressive to see, but it's
It's Visually
got
stunning.
some blood, got some
Yeah.
blood flow.
It's visually stunning.
Yeah.
Tom?
It's not hard at all. There's a couple like try to stroke, maybe make it happen. It doesn't happen. I don't really think it's all that cool. I guess visually there is some cool parts. A lot of the visuals, environment wise, I wasn't a fan of, but like the 3D like hologram girl,
Scale.
not hard at all. Really,
Not Tom's review.
was not.
I thought he was
Scale.
describing his dick at first. And he was like, the visuals were amazing.
Yeah,
But some angles weren't that great.
That side view is rough.
Yeah. It's just a top down is the best view you can get. Don't really see the
Rob?
scope.
I was pretty hard, actually.
Pretty hard.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess I was like a blood's flowing. Blood's flowing. I was, definitely not soft, not like a rager by any means. So I mean, overall, I enjoyed it. Let's go with Tom's review, since you're the softie over there.
Softy. Honestly, I think it's overrated for all the good praise it's getting.
It's getting a lot of
It's
good
getting a lot of
praise.
good praise.
Well, from you guys, and I saw it was like 8.6. I've seen some people on Twitter being like, "Oh, it's great," stuff like that.
I hadn't looked it up yet.
And I just think it really, like, aside from it being, ooh, it's set in a fucking robotic future like that we've seen that kind of robotic future so many times. Or it's like
That's higher than I was expecting.
yeah, and it's just, it didn't need to be as long as it was. There was a lot of the music, I guess, or the soundtrack was way too overbearing over a lot of the dialogue, in my opinion. The story I didn't really care about at all. It's one of those, it was pretty predictable, but then, there obviously was a twist, but it was still like, you kind of just knew exactly where it was going until it was like, oh, actually, well, he's a robot instead. And it's the girl that you met once that you don't care about. And, like, the spoilers. And, so why did they need to keep her, like, alive and at all? The girl? The daughter?
What do you mean? Why they have to keep her alive?
Evidence that the replicators can have babies
Yeah.
and aren't.
That's all it is? Is just because they don't want the evidence that they can happen?
Yeah. or-
Humans, you mean?
Where's the line between human and replicant if replicants are basically indecipherable now?
Gotcha. Okay. I thought it was like,
There's no reason to like not
And
have them.
then
I was
you,
like,
then
so
you
they're
have that
alive?
slave labor force that they've basically needed to survive.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I thought it was like because they wanted her to have like a good life, and she clearly was not having that.
Well, it should be mentioned that you didn't watch the first one.
I didn't. Yeah, that's another thing. I didn't watch the first one, and so
Don't actually
obviously
know the
there's
tension between the replicant humans.
right. But so as going into someone who hasn't seen the first one, which I hate that argument.
I'm not sure it mattered though.
I don't think it
I don't
mattered,
think
but
it mattered.
until just now when it was like you didn't realize that there was tension at all. It seemed like.
Oh.
It was a lot of just staring and long pauses and things that were just dragged out that just didn't really need to be dragged out. After a while, I was just like, what am I like? What? Like, who are the like? Yeah, okay. They showed Jared Leto. He's like the bad guy. But I was like, what is the overall? It's just dystopian and futuristic, and robots don't let them become self-aware. Whatever. I don't know. It was just like what the fuck ever, in my opinion. Like, it was just very hard to like literally be entertained with it. Other than it was just like, oh, it's a cool vibe.
Rob, what's your review?
Well, I feel the way you feel about the first Blade Runner. Because the first Blade Runner is one of these... I've talked about it before on the podcast. It's one of these really... It's like a cult classic. And they do the look, like that futuristic LA look, really well. And it's been the inspiration for a lot of other movies. That's why you see that look all the time. Because
Right.
Blade Runner kind of like... I mean, there was... like movies that kind of had that theme, but Blade Runner kind of popularized it.
I think so.
Yeah, and so like I find it interesting. I like the robot human angle. I didn't really like it in the. I didn't really like it.
Why?
That aside, the first one I didn't care for. Harrison Ford and Rachel I didn't think they had no chemistry whatsoever. The replicants he was hunting weren't very interesting. Besides
The main one.
like Rutger Hauer was interesting,
He was,
but
yeah.
even then, it took like a weird turn, and he gives that famous speech that everybody likes about the tears in the rain, and it's like if you think about that as they just didn't really add like a lot of context for it. Like they tell you all the stuff, like there's all these off-world colonies, and the replicants are used as slave labor and all that, but you never really like see it in the first Blade Runner. In this one, you kind of see it more. I feel like. So, I mean, just with like how they're ordering, Kay around and stuff like that, In the first one, Deckard, who's Harrison Ford, he wasn't a replicant.
Right.
He was supposed to be a human hunting replicants. So I thought it was interesting that they took the approach that right off the bat they're just saying, "Look, this guy's a replicant." I was surprised they just were like, "Oh, he's replicant right away."
Yeah, and so was Edward J. Zalmo.
Yeah.
Maybe all the Blade Runners are.
But they said that I didn't.
I'm still confused about
Well,
that.
because
They said
in the special cut of the original Blade Runner,
because he was like
the origami thing makes you a replicant because that's the artist in the art that they have.
that's annoying because like he's like when you watch the original one, he's like more you feel more confirmed that he's not a replicant.
Yeah,
They make it seem in the original movie, Deckard clearly wasn't a replicant.
clear.
Then Ridley Scott came back later, and he added that scene with the unicorn, the Oreo, because like Edward James Olmos' character, his name's Gaff,
Yeah.
and Gaff he would always leave these little origami animals for Deckard to just like look at, confuse like the audience, and they just added some weird like. I think it was like from the movie like Legend or something. Like it was like a unicorn, like this very blurry unicorn. And so then at the end they just added this weird scene where like the unicorn, it's like he knew what Deckard was dreaming about. So Deckard's a replicant. So I mean they confirmed he's a replicant obviously in this one, but it was still confusing because he's old. So it's like. There was that.
Yeah, did they confirm? I thought he was like just fucking with him.
It was weird because
I thought he was like, you could be, it could have been something. This is the one thing. Sorry, but this is one thing I didn't like of the movie is when they started making it sound like as if like, oh, this was all part of like a plan. I was like, don't fucking do that.
Yeah.
Make a sequel, do your thing. Don't pretend like this was ever part of it. But then he kind of like goes back on that. He kind of like gave you like multiple scenarios, which I thought was kind of. I think this kind of fuck with you though, because didn't he say like, you could be a replicant, and this is what you were supposed to do, or it could be love, like maybe love brought this in.
Well, yeah.
He kind of was just like fucking with him.
I didn't think he said. I didn't think the replicant part was in question. I thought a replicant can feel love is in question, or is it just deep in his programming to bang Rachel?
See, I'm still confused. Like,
I think that was the point though, was to kind of like throw doubt out there again.
And I think it was
right, it's not to confirm
Yes.
it
Yeah.
again because he doesn't want it confirmed. It's the thing, right? Because I was watching and you can tell like the replicants are supposed to be superhuman, and you watch Deckard, he's throwing these punches and they seem like they're not really doing shit. Like he doesn't have the super strength.
Either way, he's an old model though.
Either way, but even the older models, like they had strength. In the first one, they had strength. The replicants.
But not as
Wouldn't the new model have
the new
more
model
strength?
stronger. They seem like Drax was
right,
strong.
That's true.
But
yes, he was able to take out.
stronger.
Yeah, like Drax was like a strong.
That's true.
He was able to take him out a lot easier than Harrison Ford ever would have.
Right.
Because he's the upgraded version.
I didn't think of that.
and speaking of the aging, Drax obviously aged, and so did the chick that was
Well,
there
they-
for the baby birth.
They say that real quick. You have to catch it in like the.
They did say
Oh,
something.
I saw that
about
they had open-ended lifespan.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that they're going to age. I thought they would, if
They
they're
just stay the
truly
same.
just stay
Yeah.
the same.
They have the aging. Maybe they have real human skin.
They
Wow,
just
I'm
wrapped
trying to-
over.
Terra-
They
Genesis.
always give them real skin. Conveniently.
But yeah, I liked. I mean, I thought it was. I know it was predictable, like you said, but I kind of was interested where they're going. Like, oh, cool, they're doing this angle. Like, oh, he's the son.
I
right?
see. I agreed with Tom a little bit. Like, it didn't necessarily bother me that it was predictable. But I remember thinking the movie, I was like, wow, it's like it is. This is gonna be a long movie where it's like we kind of already know like where it's heading. And I also literally in my head was like, either it's going to be him or we're gonna find out late in the movie that it's not him. Like I was kind of like it felt like they were only giving you two options in my head. I was still fine with like because I don't always like have to. The movie doesn't always have to be like, ooh, what's the twist? Like I can still follow that path. But I was a little kind of like, oh, like I literally figured out pretty early on. Going like, so I have a feeling that they're maybe trying to show that it is him, and they're gonna flip us at the very end. And then as soon as they did that twin or like, oh, you can't have two, I was like, it's not him.
No, they definitely narrowed it down to two paths.
I'm like, it's not fucking him.
They
It's
had
not
to,
him.
if they wanted to keep mystery, they needed to throw another red herring where another replicant had the same memory or something, and now you're curious as to like how can they both have the same memory? Well, maybe they're twins.
But I was like
or something,
totally like in my head
something
like
crazy, but they didn't do that.
I was sort of like, oh yeah, so it's somebody's real memory, but they put it in him.
It's her real number.
But I did not.
Right?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
her memory. But I did not catch that it was her.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a
I totally didn't think
that was a twist. I mean, that was kind of like, oh.
I didn't catch it was her, but
I
once it showed it, like I was like, oh, okay. Like,
So
Yeah, it
she
made
was-
enough sense too. Kind of like, oh yeah, the other character they showed earlier. Okay, yeah.
She posed as the boy, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I just the way I was watching the movie, I remember stopping and thinking to myself, I was like, this is only a movie I can watch in the theater. Like if we were to have this on DVD, like I couldn't like show like hey, we're having a movie night. We're just
You want to watch Blade Runner 2049? Well, and here's the thing. When I watched it Friday in the IMAX 2D, it was just so sharp and very stunning looking, and the sound was mixed better. This one, it was just kind of like weird noises.
Yeah.
Whereas when I watched it, it was like you were in the environment. It was it was louder. It was, but still sharp. So like,
I'm quite sure I wanted it louder.
it felt like you were in the environment.
I didn't have like the
Like when they're
sound problem.
specifically when they're when the hookers first come to Ryan Reynolds, and there's like
Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Gosling. I'll go fuck Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan
Yeah,
works.
Ryan, right.
They all look the same.
Ryan dog.
There's like a motorcycle sound or something, and it was just like an annoying brrrr during that scene. I didn't. Even, I was like, boy, it doesn't sound like a motorcycle anymore. Is there a predator going to come out? What the fuck?
Well, I think that was more weird stuff too. They were trying to show us like the idea that a replicant could love because he was in love with his projection thing, right?
Yeah, but they did that in the first. I feel like this one had a better story than the first one.
Alright.
The first one was just like Deckard go get the replicants, and oh by the way, like you like Rachel.
Yeah, I think, but I kind of liked the other ones. I thought it was like a little bit more of like a detective thing. He was like really like looking for those.
See, this felt more you were following like the clues, even though they seemed obvious. He was following the clues. Like in the first one, he's hunting them down. That's it. Like
Yeah.
he goes to the.
It's funny because I was going in here hoping to see him hunting down them because I was just like, oh, he's a Blade Runner.
It wasn't cool in
And
the
it's like-
first. Like
Did he,
They
run,
both
did he
got-
run any blades?
They both kind of do the same thing though, like where it's kind of like there's. It's,
They do it because they're good at. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Ryan so
and-
much, but Harrison Ford did it because he was good at it.
he was way better than. I mean, obviously the effects are going to be better, but those pistol shots were way better than anything Ford like, or Deckard, I guess we'll call him. When he was fighting Rutger Hauer, he was getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
He didn't do shit. Like he was just like holding on to the.
I think he's the
side.
best.
Yeah, like Rutger Hauer basically just said like, "My life's over. Like I'm not going to kill you. my like batteries.
He like knew his
ran
battery
out.
was done.
Yeah.
So he didn't even kill him. Like, but he wouldn't have killed. Like, he wasn't the best.
But he wasn't getting the best of him.
Yeah, but he's potentially human though. So I don't know.
But he's not. I guess. I don't know. It made more sense when he was human because
Well, he was like an 8 and Rucker Hauer was a 7, but for some reason he was the strongest 7, kicking that 8's ass.
right.
Maybe he wasn't.
Maybe
Maybe,
it's a
he was,
weak-ass
maybe he was a 9. Deckard's an 8.
You think Rucker Hauer was a 9?
Rucker Hauer's a 7.
He was a 7.
He was definitely a
I
7.
like how we have confirmed numbers. Oh, he was a 7.
No, don't they say that in first? He's the Nexus 7 model.
Mhm.
Oh, is he? Fuck me.
I could be wrong.
What was Batista?
He was an 8.
Oh wow.
I think it was an 8.
And then we don't,
Those aging ones are 8s. The aging ones having babies are 8s.
those are 8s.
Gotcha.
And I guess maybe
So that would make Deckard an 8 if he
maybe
is.
K is not a 9 because he's actually a Willis instead of a Tyrell or whatever.
Right.
Is it Wilson? Willis?
I think
It
it
was
was
like Wallace.
Wallace.
Wallace. I was like,
Willis.
I kept wanting to say Wayland.
That's how I wanted to.
Basically.
How'd you feel about? Because
Is he a replicant? The Wallace, the bad guy, the Leto
no,
guy?
I
The
don't.
fuck is
I don't
that?
know.
I don't know.
The fuck was that?
Because they mentioned something about what's the extent
He's
of?
blind.
Great. Like, what?
That's like he was using those like. I know, dude. I didn't know.
He had the upgrade to control the levitating things, but he couldn't just pop in a couple eyes.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like sometimes in movies when they do that. It's like we could have used a little bit more explaining of like.
He needed once
Like
again.
what he
Jared
was
Leto
Jared
needs more
Leto.
explanation.
Yeah.
I didn't
That guy would've made a
understand.
Plus, I
good
didn't really
joke
understand. I mean, I understood his motive, but I didn't understand like what's his motive and the difference compared to like the other replicants' motives. Because didn't he want to like he wanted the baby? He wasn't gonna kill the baby either, right? Didn't he want to prove that they can?
He wasn't. He wanted more of them for slaves, though, and they want obviously their.
And he wants to prove. He wants because he wanted to find out how you make a replicant
So he
that can make babies, but he wants it so that he can turn them into slave later.
Yeah.
Right.
The other ones just want.
Because he said he can only make so many, but if they're making their own,
Exponential.
right? You got exponential. He wanted. It was like one of those. It sounded like he wanted to take over more worlds.
Yeah, he's like,
I only got nine worlds. I want all the worlds. I want all the water. He was very like, but his speech is. I couldn't really like. I had a hard time understanding what he was saying because he was kind of just like rambling incoherently. But he's just like, oh, angel, and you don't walk into heaven, and blah blah blah. And it's like, what are you talking
The
about?
barren valley between the sky.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't get why he killed that replicant. Like, you aren't good enough.
second viewing.
Was
Because
that
she
supposed
can't
to
have
be?
a baby.
Because she
She's
can't have-
barren inside.
That's exactly what it is.
I was like, well, don't you? But you still need to make more, so just move her on, right?
You know, how about-
You're mad that you can't make enough. Well, don't kill one now.
Put her to work building a machine. Something.
Right? There's anything. That could have been a new fucking cupbearer. I don't know, but like anything, you know.
Yeah, that sucked.
I also thought of like, of course, like Jared Leto would have the fucking douchiest room ever. I want it to have watery.
Well, I read that he was supposed to be that character was supposed to be Bowie, David Bowie.
Really?
But when they reached out to him, he was too sick at that time. Just imagine Bowie. I think would have been good in that role.
Would have been
Either
entertaining,
way,
I
I
think.
wouldn't have liked. I don't like that role.
I mean, that character's just one of those like way too sci-fi.
Yeah, I didn't actually hate him. I just thought he was. I mean, he did annoying things. But
They didn't really like resolve him either. I thought they kind of.
he's
Still out
definitely-
there.
They
Still
did-
looking for a replicant.
Yeah,
I feel like they kind of wrapped up like they kind of took a long time like to get to that point, and then they just kind of wrapped it up quickly.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a bigger character in 2059.
Yeah.
What did he want with Deckard?
Deckard, I guess he wanted to know where the kid was, and maybe like if he is
Maybe he's
a
half the
replicant,
puzzle.
yeah, like how he was able to do it. Because
Oh, okay.
if they're both replicants, then Deckard obviously impregnated Rachel. So how did he do it? Like what about him? But it seemed like he was more concerned about where the kid was than Deckard himself, because he was taking him like, oh, we're gonna go torture you.
My biggest question was the one-eyed replicant rebel. All those rebels that she had with her, they 8s, they rebel 9s. Are they babies?
I don't think they're babies.
I don't think they're babies, but I need to know, what are they?
I think only the 8s could do babies, maybe, or maybe even just like Deckard.
It might just be Rachel.
Might
'Cause
just
she
be
was like the special
Right.
one to.
It might just be
Yeah.
Rachel.
Is it Tyrell?
Tyrell, yeah.
I think it's
Like he was. She was like the special. She was like his favorite one, right?
yeah.
And that was the idea. So I think maybe it's just could like she was his prized possession.
Yeah. So maybe he just made her, but then, like you said, they kind of made it seem like they programmed Deckard to fall in love with her, which is stupid.
Yeah, but I don't think that's confirmed. I feel like Jared Leto's character was just fucking with him, trying to make him feel like a piece of shit. Like, I think you're just programmed to do it. I don't even like her. You know, you fuck.
Did he say it, or did the Resistance leader say it?
No, no. Jared Leto.
Jared Leto said
Okay.
it.
Jared Leto said it. Yeah, and then see, but remember I liked how irritated Jared Leto looked like though, and he's like, the eyes were green. He's like, God, fuck.
It didn't look like her. Really.
There was a 10% shot.
You could tell it wasn't her. At least they didn't try.
Well,
to...
I think it was the actress. I think.
Was it?
Yeah, well, she was credited in the movie. I mean, so I assume that they just did the facial thing, right?
It looked more like her on Friday. It didn't look like her. This one, she didn't even walk straight.
Shut up about that IMAX.
Oh, so you,
I mean, she didn't even walk
actually
straight.
were
It's like
all-
it makes no sense.
Wireframe.
It makes no sense that IMAX would make her walk better.
I've seen movies on IMAX. They don't do that much.
Just saying. She looked better.
I feel he's like
The movie would have been obviously cooler if you'd seen the first one. If you hadn't seen the first one, I didn't give a shit about.
I think it helped. It definitely helped a little bit. I mean, it was definitely. I don't mind like slow. You know, what I mean, I can. But I mean, there was little parts where I remember thinking like a little bit like 2 hours in, going like, wow, like it just seems like a lot to solve a little bit, but like not a lot to solve. Like, there's not really a lot to solve because I kind of already get it.
Yeah.
But I was like, are they gonna deal with Jared Leto's whole thing? 'Cause like, that feels like we don't have that much time to figure that out.
Let's free those space replicants already. Let's get to that. Let's get to a battle. Let's get some like.
So you just
tower
have to remember what movie you're watching. Sometimes it's not necessary. It's not.
Well,
it's not a movie for action.
That's yeah.
And it's kind of like you were saying, like I want to hunt down.
Well, my
it's
vision
not really
of
about
what Blade Runner was, it was like, oh, a Blade Runner is something that goes and hunts replicants. So I was
You
like,
want like a prequel.
yeah,
You want 2019?
2019.
That's what Blade. That's what the first one was like. I mean, it wasn't an action movie really.
There's action parts.
This one to me was
Like
literally
this one.
just him trying to figure out his memory, and I just didn't care enough.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty similar in the way in the pacing and everything.
They were similar. I guess I felt the story.
I like both.
I
Good
felt
story.
Kay was more likable
I mean, Gosling's pretty likable.
than Harrison
I mean,
Ford. And I like Harrison Ford. Like I like Harrison Ford a lot, but I just felt like
Deckard's kind of more of a dick.
yeah, Deckard's like I don't know. I just because it's like for you, it's like the original Blade Runner for me was one of those ones that everyone's like, whoa, like Blade Runner, and you watch it and you're like, what? This is the movie everybody loves so much. But it's like one of those movies you gotta have to go in and like, you know, have your mind like, oh, so what if like, can a human love a robot, and then can a robot make other robots, and can a robot fall in love with a hologram? And they added the hologram.
Hologram was my favorite part of the whole movie. I liked her.
It was rough when she goes.
Rough when she goes.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that.
She was hot. Vegas? Did you like Vegas?
I mean, kinda. Not really. It was like it was just orange. It was just orange, like Nintendo 64 fog. Like the whole map hadn't loaded in yet.
I'm waiting for now. Well, on IMAX,
And IMAX, you can see the whole.
it was actually green.
And it's a plethora of colors. It's a rainbow cornucopia. All the shades of
Orange
yellow.
dust. It just reminded me of like one of those orange dust movies.
I will say,
What's an orange
Orange
dust
Dust
movie?
movie?
What's an orange dust movie?
Any of those
I
like
just need one.
post like
Name one orange dust movie.
It reminded me of that Resident Evil like Apocalypse one. Very orange and dusty. No, you don't remember that? Where it was in Vegas. The desert took over, and it was just like there's like sand and blur, and like
So you don't like sand?
I don't like sand or blur.
It irritates
Get it,
you.
Annie?
It irritates you. It gets
Gets
everywhere. Okay.
I will say about that part, I thought it was very slow. That part, like, I know the whole movie was slow, but like that part was particular. It was just like a lot of like walking around the building, and then Harrison Ford didn't give any answers.
Yeah, I stared at him.
It was just like, it was a very like pointless kind of thing because it didn't really. You just got like good shots of like cool visuals.
Yeah,
but-
it was cool. Like, and they made like they tried to kind of do a cool like scene with like the Vegas singers doing it. Where it was kind of like, okay, we could have technically skipped this.
But like story wise, like
It didn't mean anything.
apart from where he's trying to kill him, where Decker's trying to kill Kay, it's like there wasn't really you didn't need to spend, I think, like 15 minutes of him just like looking around, like, whoa, like this is Las Vegas.
Yeah, that was like the only part where he was like, I mean, where it's like he was kind of, yeah, where it seemed like it was almost like pointless to have him looking around.
For the Vegas pre, I wanted Vegas. 20 years after nuclear strike or something, I needed to know exactly how long it was no longer nuclear. And I wanted that thing, his little scout thing, to say, that's a radiation hotspot, avoid it. That's right. Otherwise, why are you going so slow, man? Let's get in there, let's figure it out.
Yeah.
I didn't...
Well, the bees.
But that's how I felt like the whole thing went.
The bees what?
The bees were alive, right? So he was able to walk around there, right?
But maybe there's hotspots or something. Maybe that's the reaon why he's going slow. Because otherwise, get your ass in there.
It does
Oh,
seem like
Can't insects like live in radiation fallout? Like, cockroaches are all over.
cockroaches. The bees are really fragile
They
though.
seem to be, yeah.
The bees are always dying.
Obviously not that fragile if they're hanging out in orange.
Well, but you always see dead ones.
Orange blur.
Oh.
They're
all like,
not just
orange
bee
California.
infestation?
Yeah, there's really nothing for them besides like this little like honeypot. Like
There's really nothing in the world though. The world's kind of a shit.
Yeah, which so in the
so it shouldn't be.
did they mention that in the writing? It was like that, like there's something happened.
No, but it
No,
sure looked
they
like
didn't.
it after we saw Santa Nova.
There was just a blackout that we got hinted at.
Because like we're not. Because the other one's pre-blackout.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, so
like
there was a
everything-
blackout. Like
Everything's fine.
oh, no one knows. Okay, good. So, yeah, I
So second viewing didn't help you with that one.
No, that was... I was hoping to catch, like, maybe one more reference, but nope.
And like, there's not that many people left on Earth, basically.
There's less people, yes.
I mean,
that's why...
far less. No, because like I kind of missed the blackout thing at first, because in the first one, the original one, like when they go to LA, it's like you see like that kind of like what's that movie? I'm trying to think of other
Star Wars? Where like
no. What's the one with Bruce Willis?
Fifth Element.
Like Fifth Element traffic. There's like
Yeah.
shit ton of like traffic. It's like
There's
LA,
like no traffic.
LA flying
There's
traffic.
like nobody in the world.
Well,
But that's the thing.
Everybody's
Everybody's
off-world.
off world.
oh, they said that.
They did say that.
Yeah. Well, that's why they keep talking about it. Like everybody got their tickets off world. We even had her ticket, but we had to leave her. Like everybody left because of like I think nuclear fallout, or I guess that was the blackout is. I don't know.
Oh.
So he's like left there like hunting down like replicants, but there's
There
really
you
not that
go.
many people.
You just helped me out. Naps cut. The blackout causes the nuclear reactor in Vegas to go critical, so everyone evacuates. Vegas is uninhabitable.
But then
That's why there's no dead bodies and shit. Also,
Well, I think it happened a long time ago.
the only
but
problem.
yeah, but every other nuclear apocalypse, there's
Oh,
skeletons and shit.
The only problem with the blackout is that Blade Runner 1 was pre-blackout.
Yes.
So that's the only problem with that theory. Because unless in Blade Runner 1, Vegas was not a wasteland, I guess.
I mean,
Yeah.
but wouldn't you assume it's not?
I mean, I thought the whole
Because
world was.
I assume it's not because Deckard talked about it as if he'd been there.
Yeah, Deckard was like, yeah, we should have been here when it was like little gambling, little banging.
You're right. So obviously there was.
So, in 30 years, I don't know the math. I'm not a nuclear scientist. That seems like a good enough time for Fallout to have diminished enough for bees to be there and tentatively walk around.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because the blackout happens in 2020 or
2020?
21 or something like that. Right, and I don't remember exactly when the first one's supposed to be.
2019.
Yeah.
So like right before the blackout.
So at that point,
That's part of the hiding of the baby.
why does it matter if
Yeah, you're right, because he hid the baby and then the blackout happened.
Paved it over.
Yep.
Santa no free.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. I didn't catch that until I heard you mutter it.
Oh.
I was like,
It
oh,
was the titties.
that does make sense.
Well, it was interesting too because they mentioned San Diego.
They
In
mentioned San Diego.
In my
yeah.
head, that's like not San Diego, but I forget
Right.
that that's like actually the San Diego county line is like right after San Clemente.
Yeah.
But that doesn't feel like San Diego to me.
Right.
It's just some sort of middle land.
I was like, San Diego's looking good.
Right? I didn't think of those reactors. I was like, boy, we just decided to trash San Diego. Like, LA was like, all right, well, we took the Chargers. That's where we're going to dump our trash now.
Yeah, but it made me feel like Rancho was out.
Yeah,
Rancho's out.
I wonder how many
That's
humans were actually there, though, because I'm assuming the Madam was a human.
Madam,
Yes.
we're supposed to be human.
Yes, definitely.
Which one was the madam?
His boss.
Robin Wright.
No.
Robin Wright, yeah.
Okay.
So,
And obviously Coco, I think, was a human, maybe.
I don't know. Coco might have been a replicant.
Coco?
The dude who got smacked his head.
I
Dude with the shaved head.
The reason I think he was human because he said skin job and then said sorry for it.
Yeah, maybe.
So he said a derogatory comment about the.
Yeah, because the
about the
skin
replicant.
job was a replicant, like slur, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skin job, Skinner.
See, I don't think they were referencing that Edward James Olmos was a replicant.
You don't think so? You think
He
it
was
was
doing
just?
that origami thing in the first one.
I thought the origami was something that all the replicants did.
No,
It was just him.
no, it was just him.
Oh.
It was like his calling.
That was like his little thing.
I
Yeah,
see.
I think he's supposed to. It's just funny that he didn't leave planet.
And then he said something else.
Yeah.
He said something like, but maybe that was just something about Deckard. He said something about being retired.
I was very confused about his role in
He's
the
like-
movie because he was
He's like, I'm retired.
because he was old. I mean, they're both.
Wink, wink.
Right.
They implied in the first one that he was not a replicant.
Yeah,
'cause
they-
he knew like, hey, I'm human. But then he was supposed to be a Blade Runner too. So
Right.
were all the Blade Runners replicants then?
That's what I
Yeah.
was just saying.
So it's like,
That's
They-
why I was easily sold.
they
I was
still-
like,
I was
2
hoping-
out of 3 are replicants.
I was hoping we'd get like at least some answers.
Yeah, they don't like to.
They don't like to answer it. Like, just tell us. Like, I'm like, cool. We're gonna know for sure if Deckard's a replicant or not. It's like, so we know he is now, kind of.
I feel like you just.
But I'm not confident now.
Yeah.
I hate that we don't get answers and things. I'm so sick of it, like, well, let the audience interpret it. I need someone to just tell me what happens and what's going on.
Yeah, but then they tell you, and then you go, this is boring. I can follow the plot.
No, that's not. Not the same thing at all.
Yeah, I like both movies about the same. I think actually, so fuck me, I guess. I think if I really picked, I think I'd probably like the original, but that just might be. Maybe,
That's probably nostalgia.
maybe nostalgia. I watched
Are you
that. I watched
nostalgic?
that more as an adult though.
I do
What's
give
that must have-
originality more, like a lot of weight though.
Yeah, that's true.
I liked that he was hunting down. I mean, I kind of liked that he was hunting down the ones. Like he was doing more of like the Blade Runner like role.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why I like that one a little bit more. And then yeah, probably it's the original, right? So you're not like copying things, kind of.
I think Rutger Hauer was better developed than Jared Leto.
Jared Leto wasn't developed at
It
all.
wasn't, right? So like the main bad guy is is Love.
Well, isn't Tyrell kind of a bad guy too? In that he's in that. He's a
Yeah.
fucking freak.
Yeah,
in it.
he's a freak.
They're all
But,
freaks.
You know Rutger Hauer's desire and why he's being bad and why he's against Harrison.
He had a lame crew though.
His
Lame
crew
crew.
sucked.
Lame crew.
A lame crew.
Leto's Angel had more development than he did. Like whatever her deal was.
Yeah, I was kind of so.
What was with the tears?
I kind of liked her though.
I just didn't get any.
Replicant that apparently didn't want to be doing what she was doing, but still did it.
It seemed like she was getting joy out of it though. She was
I
like,
don't know.
"I'm the best one."
Yeah.
She had weird
She's like
feelings.
crying.
She had like feelings. Like I think there's another thing. It was like she like. Well, never. She said, "Oh, everybody thinks replicants can't lie." Well, I'm gonna tell them you shot at me. So it's like I think they're all just fucking haywire. Even the ones they think are
There's
in.
no good one.
I think the ones they even think's like in order. Like they're all just like, no, we're not. We're fucking on. We're unhinged. We can't fucking. You know?
Yeah, when Kay goes, I didn't know that was an option. So now that she put it on the table, it's an option apparently. Like he could just go off script.
I think it's
Great.
like it's hard because just looks like it. He acts and looks like a human, right? So you think when you're talking to him, it's like, you could say no to me. Oh, wait, you can't. You're a replicant.
You talking about? Oh yeah. I mean, I thought he like felt like a robot the whole time though. To me,
Yeah.
it was like no personality.
No personality. Like,
Well, that's where like Deckard, like I mean, because you're supposed to think that he's not a replicant the whole time, so he kind of has a little bit more personality, right? I mean, I don't know, but I see. I thought early on, I thought they were going to twist us, and like he wasn't even going to be a replicant at all, and then he was just thinking he was a replicant, and like maybe he just like came up with like this weird fucking no personality thing because he just thought he was a robot.
It's just a psycho-human.
You know, like I thought, like, oh yeah, well if somebody's telling you you're a robot and this is the way you're supposed to act your whole life, like maybe you would do that.
I like that term.
But then I should have. Then I when he thought about it more, I was like, yeah, but he's like, oh, it's kind of superhuman.
He gets stabbed a lot, but I mean, he like that dude from Lethal Weapon 1.
He bursted through a couple walls.
Yeah.
That wall bust looks cool, but I was just like, who was Harrison Ford closing that door off? Because if whatever his plan was, Jay ruined it. He just blast a hole for whoever wanted to come through.
Did Gosling, did his character just like lay down at the end, or did he die at the end?
Died.
I think he died.
He's dead?
Yeah.
Because of what, stab
Go ahead and
wounds?
lay down.
It's for you.
Here's the thing.
That's what I interpret.
Those torso shots phased him, but he always coming back from
You
those.
seem deady. No, but he had
His
that.
eye didn't close,
He had
though.
that dead check. You know when they check
The check,
and
yeah.
then they pull
I
the
thought about
jacket
the
off,
check, like,
and there's all that
yeah.
blood. That's a dead check.
That's the one. This is the one that got me check.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
It
like
happens-
the Walking Dead check. Oh, guess I'm dead.
You
Yeah,
guys just leave me the grenade, guys.
So
yeah.
he was able to just drive to wherever that was. It turned from night to day. They had the little conversation where they don't really actually talk to each other. One person says questions, the other person gives no answer or some other cryptic shit. And then, okay, you're in there? Alright, I'm going to just die now.
They built up that he was dying because they did the whole thing where,
Die for a purpose.
right, that's the most human thing you can do, and he made that choice. Like he lost his holographic wife, and he's just like, screw this, I'm gonna do the right
Yeah.
thing.
I like that jacket. Though.
And he had a good
Yeah,
jacket.
good. He looked cool.
That
The
shit
guy
looks
cool.
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The jacket look hot.
No, the jacket
Oh,
looked
The
hot.
chick looked hot.
I like. Did you like the big
Not good.
advertisement
The big
chick?
version of her. Yeah, I was like, well, she's gone, but at least this is making up for
This
it.
is pretty nice, right?
Yeah, I thought it was like a smack at the face when she came down and she's like, Joe, and
Joe.
I was like, ooh, like, yeah, it's just
We call you all Joe.
Was
Yeah.
it that
Nothing
wasn't,
special.
wasn't that personal?
That's right.
Well, he wasn't special. Turns out.
I think he's still alive. Just gonna put that.
He could. I mean,
They
He
make
seemed
the
pretty
money.
special.
They make $20.59. Kay's back.
I don't know. I was just like when you were showing me that thing, they were talking about how it's like not making any money.
Oh really?
It's like really well reviewed, but people aren't going to see it.
well, it's one of those movies people want to go and be entertained by flashy stuff, and there was some of that in there, but they want to go see a superhero movie. They don't want to sit through a 3-hour movie where it's just like it makes you question like humanity and like where the future's going. So it's like very thought provoking,
Yeah.
but it's not like pandering to like ADD, I guess. Not that like all those movies do.
High
but
octane.
They're not. It's not high octane. Like, it's not like there's moments of octane, but it's not like the whole time. Like he's just like I was kind of thinking they were gonna do like a whole revolt battle
we
and
were gonna get
stuff,
a revolt
and I was like, oh, that's gonna be so stupid. I really don't want to see like a revolt, and they didn't do it. But most movies like that, you would picture like he's running and gunning through the city, like the chick's like making quips, he's saving her, and stuff like that, and that just didn't happen. And so people probably don't really. It's not as appealing to a wide group of people, I guess.
I don't need high octane. I just need to care more.
You need high octane.
I need to care more if I'm gonna be watching that stuff.
You're
I just
definitely
did-
octaney
There
though.
was nothing really. It just was very. I don't know. Like, I feel like somehow I feel like I've seen that movie before.
There's been a lot of movies that touch on. I mean, it kind of even feels like Covenant, right, or Prometheus. There's been a lot of movies where they touch on that human AI robot like relationship and what it means to be human, and then them becoming sentient and turning against the humans because they realize, hey, like we're better than the humans, kind of thing. There's a lot of that's like a common sci-fi cliche.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, overall, I liked it.
I didn't hate it. It just didn't do anything for me, and I don't think.
I mean, I
would
feel like
watch it
for
again.
you, what you feel like is probably like it was 3 hours, but they could have done it in 1 hour.
They could have done it easily in 1 hour. They didn't need to drag on every scene like they did and have him staring. I didn't have like an issue with him. I thought his character looked cool.
They do
I
that.
didn't have an issue with any of the characters really.
Well, I think they do that like in movies like this. Like so like you have time to think about what's going on in those parts as well. Like so you kind of reflect on what like he's supposed to be thinking, and if they just did it all in an hour, it would just be scenes, and then you'd be like, okay, you and you need to stretch, you need to figure out more story, like where you do this, you kind of like, you reflect on like, okay, what's this kind of supposed to mean, or
I guess
so that's why they do
I don't
that.
need it to be
That's why they do
that
that.
long to reflect on it. I guess
that's why they do that.
because I reflect on it within the time that I should reflect on it. Then I'm just like, wow, there's still going on with it.
Well, I think they want you to, like he said, they want you to think about, like, what if in our future there's going to be holograms and stuff like that? Or,
Oh, there's gonna be.
you know, like what does it mean, like, if the robots become...
Tom's gonna plow through like 20 holograms. Is the
Dude,
thing. He's
yeah,
gonna have
oh
like so
my.
many, and there's no attachment to those things.
Except for the cat one.
I didn't think... I thought the billboard, though, was creepy. Though.
I want to see Cap bang that one.
Like
That hologram. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone else is walking by, you're like, dude, what?
If like a
You
billboard
lonely bastard, get
starts
outta
talking
here.
to you, that's kind of creepy. Like if she's huge, even though she's like a hologram, just like, hey, like what are you doing down there? It's like,
I kept thinking too, like, why don't you put that fucking phone on silent? Every time it went off, I feel like it was like he's like, fuck, 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 fuck. Like it's kind of embarrassing or something.
I thought by the
I
end
like
it was
that.
gonna mean something, because like, is she like trying to get his attention or something? Why does it go off when he goes down to like the records room with Love? It's just totally giving away that he's got, you know, a flesh pocket in his pocket.
I thought it was just like whenever she was kind of like recording information or something. It kind of seemed like whenever something happened that was, I don't know, important, it would
Right.
make that sound.
Right, because like she did it for like the hooker chick.
Look, yeah, I saw you liked her. Like it was just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
that was stupid, like asshole. Like
I didn't like that part that much. That like
You banged the hooker.
The sink scene.
no, I didn't mind that. I mean, that was like whatever. I didn't like that it was like because it's one of those movies where he doesn't meet a whole lot of people. Like somehow every person he meets is sort of important to the story. So it's like the one hooker chick he meets ends up being
Part
the
of
chick
resistance,
who's part of the resistance, who puts the like tracking device in his pocket, who finds him later conveniently after like he like would have been left for dead. I was kind of like, wow, like really, like the only like he meets a series of like 5 people, and all 5 have to be important. It was kind of like
that's a cliche though.
He didn't meet her by chance though. The head rebellion chick sent her over there.
Fucking missed that.
What you're talking about is like in a...
Fucking missed that.
But he still liked her enough. That was convenient.
Yeah, you're right though. I do remember that now. Fuck.
It's like when the guy...
It sucks when something shattered like that. But then at the same time, like, oh, well, it makes it better.
Makes it better.
Yeah, I kind of
What
forgot
about
that.
those other 2 hookers? When they were like, oh, he's a Blade Runner. Fuck this.
I thought the other 2 were hotter. She was the least hot of the 3.
That's why she probably joined the revolution.
Yeah, I do remember somebody sending her over. I think I just like wasn't paying attention to that lady and thought like, yeah, she's just sending. Hey, that guy looks lonely. Go fuck him for money.
Oh no, I didn't think that. I thought she was.
I thought she was
of
part
a
of
bad version.
I thought she was like with Wallace. I
Yeah.
thought like Wallace was putting the...
track him.
Which I guess is what you're supposed to think.
Yeah.
Even though they already had a satellite over him, no matter what he was doing.
No matter what he did. But like what you were saying, it's like when the main character gets thrown in prison and his like cellmate's like the most important guy in the world.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, I'm the prince of like Azkaban.
I mean, it felt. I mean,
Oh, shit.
even the start of the story feels like that. Where he was. I don't know how many Blade Runners are out there, but he happened to be the one Blade Runner that killed Batista, who found the tree that had like the memory data that he needed. Unless a lot of replicants have that memory data.
They could all have that.
Maybe like a bunch of Blade Runners, like he's just the Blade Runner that happened to stumble across that. Like that's possible too.
Humans are trying to escape Earth by the buttload. How about we just leave the replicants alone? Enjoy it, guys.
Maybe there's like
Well, that's what I thought. I was like, what is it? I was like, oh, so everyone left? Who gives a shit if they
Well, there's still
procreate
humans.
and like live on?
There's still humans there though.
They're going
'cause
to take some of the planets.
even in the.
I could cut it both ways. I'm horrible.
well, I thought too like maybe there's like fuel and like resources they're still sucking out of the planet.
I mean,
We
even
need those resources.
that his apartment complex, those were humans because they wrote on the thing
Yeah.
like go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
They seemed like ones that were like waiting to die.
Yeah.
They were never going to get their ticket.
It was definitely the scummy people that were left.
You think about the rich would be the ones who leave, and the poor would be suffering on Earth, right?
Yeah, everybody else is at Elysium.
Yeah.
Elysium. It's like a Matt Damon's walking around somewhere out there.
I'm surprised he makes cameos in like every movie. I'm surprised he didn't have some cameo as like, Replicant 33. Like,
Hey, what's up, Blade Runner?
We were talking during the credits. He's actually the jumping fish in the pond.
Yeah, well, just likes to jump.
Well, I remember I noticed because when he's even like, nobody likes the replicants because like when he's walking through the police station, everybody's all shitty to him.
Skinner. And he's extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it, guys.
well, they're slaves.
Yeah, exactly.
So they kind of deal with that real world where people, it's like, well, you're beneath me, you're a robot, like we made you, kind of thing. You serve us.
Go flick your own nuts. Good idea, sir.
You go flick your own nuts. Okay. All right. What do we got? What do we got next?
How about those trailers?
Nothing good coming up anytime
Nothing
soon
good coming up.
besides Thor.
Yeah.
And Star Wars, maybe.
In December.
Star Wars trailer tomorrow.
Yeah, Star Wars trailer. That's a good podcast.
What's with the type of movie we got? No, I get you like the theme, you like it's kind of ooh, but
like
it
the
really
movie.
wasn't fucking like.
Right. It was a beautiful movie though. Like
It was beautiful.
like visually.
I liked it.
It's good. It's good.
I don't know.
We all liked it. You're the odd man.
Was
out.
it not? It wasn't.
The original
it
Blade
wasn't
Runner
just
was
gray,
good too.
gray fog, and then orange fog.
They got that neon thing. I'm a big fan of the
And
neon.
the neon thing helped, like the neon signs.
I'm so used to neon signs though. That was
Like
just
that
that might as well have been
neon-ass-
Coruscant.
Right, but that's Blade Runner is basically that's basically Coruscant.
Rain.
I liked the hologram visuals and the technology. Other than that, it was very
very rainy. Did in the first one too.
very
I
gray.
was like, what happened to the weather in LA? It's a lot of rain. A lot of LA rain.
You scorched the earth. You scorched the sky.
Yeah, but
Smog, maybe.
it wasn't scorched yet.
They
in the
made
first one.
these like weather controlling machines, and that went haywire.
The geostorm.
Geostorm.
of 18.
Geostorm.
Yeah, and it just all went
I
south.
mean, we're
One
seeing
button didn't make it.
Geostorm.
Dude, that's,
I'm not seeing Geostorm.
that's actually happening next year. This is 2017. We have a geostorm in 2018. 2019, we're leaving Blade Runner.
When do we get flying cars? They're gonna pump that out quick.
That
Probably right after the storm, I guess. Maybe during the floods, we get flying cars.
Yeah, because you can't be on the roads when it's flooding, so they'll make the flying cars so you can get above the roads.
I don't know how real it is because I saw it on a meme website, but it looked like I watched something where it was like they made like kind of like a flying, like a floating car thing.
Yes.
And it was like it's a prototype, but it can go fast, and it was kind of like looked like a UFO almost. Like it had like those propellers underneath that like
I was gonna say,
made it hover.
I seen the dude ride in the hoverboard,
Yeah,
so it's gotta be coming.
it's not probably going to come in our lifetimes, but
Don't say it like that, buddy. I'm living forever.
It'll come in our lifetimes.
you think?
The way you eat?
Yeah,
I think flying cars.
Well, my whole thing about the flying cars things, I don't think it'll happen because people can just easily go like, "Oh, I'm going up and into Disneyland," boom, like that type of shit.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
why
how
I don't
do
think they're gonna be available.
How do you police that?
You don't.
you know,
You
like,
don't.
I mean, you can barely police people.
And you know, you see all the traffic from the broken down cars on the side where someone's like, "Ah, fuck." Just imagine when it breaks down when you're in the sky, like, "Oh!" You know, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Into a house?
That's what they said about planes. Now we have an FAA.
I don't
No
know
one
how
gives a
it's
shit.
going.
Planes drop out of the sky every day. Who cares?
I don't think they do.
No, it's math. Trust me.
Every day.
Every day. You think all those flights, every plane makes it all the time, 100%.
I think a lot of them make it.
They
Some
do.
of them come down. They don't have to like blow up. They do like a soft landing in the
The other thing
river.
is, some of these planes are getting older. They're gonna have to not fly at one point, right? They can't just have a forever lifespan.
If you watch Transformers, there's an airplane graveyard right behind the fucking Capitol building.
They'll milk them as long as they can, though. Like they're still using planes from like the 30s.
Yeah, I felt it when I was in Hawaii.
Or, I don't know how old they are, but they're really old. Like the C-130s are old as shit. Those are like the propeller ones.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a military plane. We don't got to worry about that.
Oh, okay.
We're always getting. We've got the 70s planes.
Which is still like becoming a long time ago.
My car only has 11 years in it, so I don't know how many these planes are going to be doing.
Yeah.
Well, riveting.
On that note.
Riveting. Anything else? Anything else for this week? What's coming up? Do we get to see a movie in 2 weeks from now? Anything?
2 weeks from now.
No, it's gonna be Halloween.
Halloween podcast?
Halloween's in 2 weeks.
Well,
Like 3 weeks.
22.
3 weeks.
We could see a movie. We could see like American Made with a Tom Cruise movie. Looks like it's
That already came out, didn't it?
yeah. Well, we could see it within the 2 weeks. And we missed it.
There's always that It movie, too, that we've never seen.
It's always that first Blade Runner.
I mean, I'll watch the first one.
Kingsman.
But if it's basically the same movie, like I said.
It's not the same movie. It just looks similar.
How quickly can you break down American Assassin for me?
Very quick.
Let me get that.
Okay, so, first scene. On
American
beach.
Assassin spoilers.
Boom. First scene. They're on the beach. It's the main protagonist. He's got a ridiculously hot girlfriend.
And thank you, Tom.
He proposes to her there. She's like, yes. He's like, sweet. He goes to the bar, gets some drinks. As he's going to the bar, terrorists come in and just start shooting up all the people. Like, graphically, too. You think it would just be like, oh, just get shot up. But it's like they're getting shot. She gets shot. He gets shot. He's, like, crawling towards her. And then, like, when they, like, are right there next to each other, like, some terrorist just comes and shoots her in the head. Then after that, 18 months later, he's all bearded. And he's got, like, a hacker keyboard, one of those ones that roll out, He rolls out, he like just wakes up 18 months later, rolls it out, he's typing to like ISIS. It's like, yeah, like Allah's good, his cousin's good, all that shit. And it's because it's like they're asking questions like, so, how much Allah's dick would you suck? Well, I'm feeling like whole 8 inches right now. So then they're like, all right, come on down to meet us. So then he goes down to meet them because he's got a plan to kill the guy. Because obviously he's all of a sudden he just knows Arabic and he knows how to fight. He's a super. It's really hard to give this review with this happening, by the way, though.
I was looking up upcoming movies while you go.
But it's like, yeah.
He isn't.
But anyways,
I don't care.
So I'll keep going. So then he goes in and the CIA is tracking ISIS. They're tracking him, and they're like, he's got a certain set of skills. And then so he goes in, like, they're all like, why are you here, like, checking him and stuff, and they're, like, being dickheads. Then he's about to, like, make his move, and the CIA comes in and kills the guy he wanted to kill, and kills everybody. He's like, no, fuck! He's, like, stabbing him, because he didn't get, like, the revenge kill. Yeah.
It's like he turned into Cookie Monster.
Yeah. So then they bring him in, and they're just like, hey, like, that... You showed some skills out there, kid. And he's just like, all like snotty in the interrogation room. And it's like, wow, you know what? You should go in this program of secret assassins with Michael Keaton, he's like the wizard of it. Like he was like ex-Navy SEAL. He's great. But now he just likes to live on his own in a cabin.
They always do.
But he trains him so she brings him to Keaton, and Keaton's just like, wow, why are you bringing me this like schleb? He's not good enough. And then, of course, he kind of does something that shows that he's, like, sort of, like, got some skills. All right, kid, you got some skills. I'm going to teach you. And then so he's got, like, a school of assassins. But, like, Michael Keaton's kind of, like, really, like, hard-nosed, like, beating the shit out of them kind of thing. Yeah, your enemy wouldn't be merciful like this. All it takes is, that type of shit.
Right.
So then they're doing, like, more... they have this... There's kind of, like, a cool, like, training thing where they have, like, targets. Like, it's, like, virtual reality, and they have, like... electricity tasers on them, so if they get shot, it like tases them. Mm-hmm. Or if they shoot the wrong person, it tases them or something like that. So they're all like in like a room, like they're training, and then like every time like they put on the guy that he wanted revenge on, he's like shooting at him and getting like zapped. And so it's like, you shouldn't be using your emotions. You need to be getting the actual targets, kind of thing. But he's still just like, it doesn't matter how many times he's getting zapped. He's just like killing them. So he's clearly like not like behaved. And then they have like a mission. Him and one of the other guys who he had like a rivalry with in the fucking academy. They go onto the mission immediately. There's some other assassin guy who's good, who, as it turns out, was like Keaton's first like assassin, who like he taught him everything he knows, kind of thing.
Always is one.
So then he like hates Keaton. It's like pretty much like a daddy issues thing. Because like, so Keaton, when he's like training everybody, he's like,
never tell me I'm good enough.
Right? Yeah. He's basically like, if you're like out there and you get like stranded, like you're a ghost, you're dead, no one's coming for you. That's like what he like teaches. So obviously that happened to the assassin guy, and he didn't very much like being ghost and dead, no one's coming for you, even though that was part of the training.
You come for me, damn it.
Yeah. So they go on some mission, and then the assassin guy kills the rival guy. And he's like, oh shit, he's dead. And then like Keaton's like, abort, and then of course our assassin just doesn't abort and does some crazy shit that's like off the rails. And he doesn't listen. Why didn't you bring him to me? That type of stuff. But he gets like the information that like was like required. It kind of like puts another piece of the puzzle. And so Keaton's like, oh, it couldn't be him. He's dead. You know. We never saw a body. Fuck. Right. So that type of shit. So then some other hot girl becomes a part of their team, and she's like the CIA, she's all whatever, and they go on another mission. They're like following his lead, but of course he's like baiting them type stuff. More shit happens, and then they almost get killed, and Keaton comes in, stops it from happening, and then the guy's like so super assassin, jumps out the window, like leaves, and then yeah, and then
so stupid.
Then the assassin guy, like you can tell the girl kind of wants to bang the assassin guy. And then as she's like patching him up, she's like, you can tell something's off, and he's like, wait, are you a mole? Are you a mole? He's like drowning her, like, are you a mole? Damn it! And then she's like, yeah, I'm a fucking mole, but like, for the like for like the like I don't know, Iranian government, she's not necessarily like against
she's not
them.
a bad guy. She's a different.
Yeah, so she's like in cuffs and shit, and then so then Michael Keaton, when he finds that out, he's like, oh, that's like my old buddy who was like in charge of her, so he goes to find.
That's Hassan's daughter.
Yeah, it's basically her uncle is like Hassan or whatever.
I've seen this movie.
So then Keaton goes to meet up with Hassan, and it's just like he's like, hey, sorry about the mole. Wow, that's good. How's your life? How's this, and this, and then of course the Hassan guy gets sniped, and then Keaton gets like shot. And he's like, oh shit, because the ghost was like following him or whatever, and then after that happens, the guy who just goes off the rails, he goes and like kills, I think, the people that were like escorting the mole, like kills them, undoes her handcuffs, and it's like, and she's like, because they were like at odds. It's like, are you with me? We gotta go save them. And it's just like, all right. So they go. So it's like, okay, all of a sudden, like, why did she even have to be a mole? But whatever. So it turns out because like the guy, the assassin guy, is trying to get like a nuke. He's trying to nuke something, and it's pretty much going to be like, this is all your fault, Keaton, that this nuke fucking happened. So now he has Keaton, and then he's like torturing him. He can obviously, he's like talking shit, like, oh, that's rookie mistake to do it like this. Ha ha ha! Don't ask questions. This is like him tied up.
Oh, gotcha.
And his hand's like tied up, and he's in like a thing of water where you can like electrocute kind of thing, He's like picking his fucking fingernails off, and Keaton's like, oh, ha ha! I love it! Like obviously sucks ass. And then, but so he's in the area where he's selling they're in the secret lab where he's selling the nuke to like the other guys who want to like use it to nuke New York.
Yeah.
Why not? And then
why not?
Then during that, then he ends up like killing the guys that he was going to sell the nuke for, and he's like, I wasn't going to do that. I'm doing it myself, and it's your fault, Keaton. And just like keeps telling him like, you're not as good. Like he keeps like talking shit to the assassin guy, like, you didn't learn anything, and then all that shit, whatever. So then the rogue guy's just going even more rogue. He's not supposed to be, because he was supposed to be like detained, but instead he like took over the whatever, and he's just so fucking rogue. And then they somehow find the hideout. I forget how they find the hideout, but they do. And some like henchmen that you just see a lot. They don't really have any speaking roles. They finally run into them to kill them. And then the ghost guy like he like catches them off guard. And the ghost guy has her. Oh no! It's not the ghost guy. It's one of the henchmen. And he like has the girl. He's pretty much like, I'm gonna kill her kind of thing. and he's like trying to figure a way out of it. He like could have gotten out of it, but then she was all bummed out that her uncle died and some other things happened. Like she had like her own like motives of like revenge, because I think maybe the guys killed her family too, and so she's just like get them kind of thing, and like kills herself to like hit him.
What?
Yeah, so she like kills herself to like get the guy, so he's on the run, so he's dead, and then
Bold choice.
so the assassin guy, by the time he gets there to save Keaton, the other ghost assassin like got away, but he's like on a boat with the nuke. And like he's like, we gotta get the whatever, but he got Keaton.
Always a nuke.
That was a nuke.
Yeah, he got Keaton like free, and then but like he was basically like, Keaton, like here's your ride home. I'm going rogue, and so he goes and he fucking gets on his own boat and he's going around like so the people back at the CIA
I brought 2 boats.
yeah
I can't not be rogue.
I'm going rogue.
because Keaton kept hating how rogue he was, and the girl that like originally found him, the CIA one, who was like buddies with Keaton, kept being like, no, he's our star pupil, he's good. And she even got pissed that he was like being rogue. Anyways, so the CIA is pretty much like tracking the nuke, like, oh, the nuke's gonna be here, and then there's this like fleet of people that are gonna get fucked. And so they're basically like, hey, everyone, like, evacuate, or maybe we gotta like find a way we're gonna shoot missiles at the nuke so it just blows up there. I forget what they were gonna do.
It's not armed, it's not deadly.
Something like that, right? They wanted to get it like in the water was pretty much the point, and then. So the assassin gets to the boat with the other ghost assassin, and they're like fighting and stuff because it's like a speedboat. I don't even know how the original assassin got there, honestly. I don't remember. And so they're there and they're like fighting, and he just like he kills them in a way that like Michael Keaton was like originally showing their training, like yeah, whatever. So that's how he kills him. And he's driving, he like takes the boat to the other direction, pretty much like out to the water, and people are seeing it's like, oh, it's going there, but it needs to be under the water, like yada yada. And he's like doing his own. He's just going like Keaton flies in the helicopter with someone else. He's like. You gotta come on, like drop the thing in the way. He's like, I gotta do it on my own. I gotta do it rogue. And he's like, no. he's like, drop it in the ocean. It's gonna explode. It's gonna do a lot more damage if it's in the water or whatever. So he finally throws in the water. It's like literally what Michael Keaton says. He goes like, for once in your goddamn fucking life, like don't go rogue. Like, pretty much, like listen to a fucking order, you piece of shit. And so then he's like, fuck, fine. He throws the nuke in the water. And then he like, gets him from the helicopter and they're going away. And the nuke explodes in the water, and it's still a pretty shitty fucking nuke. Like everyone on the Armada is like fucking windows are smashing and breaking and things are sucking. They're on the helicopter like, you know. And then it eventually subsides and like, wow, like that saved all the people on the Armada. You did good, you're great. And then his like story was like kind of like over. It's like, well, you did your thing, and that's like it. And then I forget what happens there. They pretty much just have closure with the Keaton people, and then there's like they're literally like the last scene or whatever. It's like, where's the assassin or something like that? Because they found like some lead on some new thing, and then you just see this like I don't know, Iranian dude like go onto like an elevator, and then all of a sudden the elevator shuts, and then the assassin guy's like behind him, like, oh, he's still out there doing right, and then it's over, and that's it.
What a shit show.
The rogue assassin is on the elevator.
No, the rogue assassin got killed on the boat.
No, the rogue assassin.
Rogue assassin is the hero. Ghost assassin is dead.
Yeah, the rogue assassin's like the hero guy.
Yeah, he's
so they're
on
all
the
at their CIA base, and then when they kind of realize he's gone, they're like, wait, we don't have tabs on him. What the fuck? Or he earned his freedom. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Basically,
a mix of the two, probably.
Basically, like later in the future or something like that, he's like still doing like rogue shit. Like, rogue shit. And then it's like it ends because there's like maybe it could be a sequel.
Yeah. There's supposed to be like a.
I hate
this movie is supposed to have like an open door for like a ton.
Yeah, probably. But like it was just so stupid to me that like in 18 months he's like just because he was in like a mixed martial artist like the gym like doing jiu-jitsu, and he like really beat the fuck out of someone. And he's like, dude, what the fuck? Like stop! It's not. He's just like he just knows how to do everything just because he like lost his fiance on. I mean, she was hot. I would be bummed too. But like
18 months to learn all
18
the
months.
language.
It's been like 18 months since my last relationship, and I haven't even learned how to be a normal person yet. And he's like,
some people dedicate themselves differently.
Yeah,
you're eating way better.
But he learned how to be a a hacker. He learned all like how to like communicate, like find and pinpoint ISIS like no one else could. And then he's like a super guy. I don't know. It was stupid.
Your,
Keaton,
your Destiny Light score is nice. You ate like 3 baskets of fries.
That's
dude.
true. I had a lot
Super
of
impressive.
I'm cultivating mass. For sure.
But,
It sounds like a movie Naps would like.
yeah, I'm watching this
I
one.
think you would like it.
I'm watching it. For sure. Not in theaters.
Just rethinking it. I like Keaton in anything.
Keaton's good and everything.
Good.
So that's the movie pretty much. That's pretty much all it is.
Wow.
Some cool action scenes.
Anything else?
That's about it.
Do one of those for Blade Runner 2049.
I honestly I don't think I could. I honestly don't really remember like how it went. I mean, I'll try, but like, movie starts out. You're like, okay, he hunts fucking replicants, right? They bring that up. He's a Blade Runner. He kills replicants. He goes to Batista. You know Batista's a replicant. He's just like farming shit. Like he's just like getting maggots.
Protein.
It's protein.
It's protein,
And garlic.
but it's shit.
That's for his own use.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. And then he gets there, he fucking goes, has a little squabble with fucking Batista, and then kills him, and Batista basically says, like, you're just a slave, you haven't seen a miracle. And then he's like, it kind of like affects him, like, oh, I've seen a miracle. And so he goes back to his, like, shitty apartment after, like, being like, hey, like, here's the credits, here's his eye, here's everything. And then they scan, like, the area, and they find out there's, like, a piece of shit, like, underneath the tree.
I know it was a piece of shit. But
Well, it's like some box, and it's like, hey, don't worry about the box, dude. We'll dig it up. Come back to your shitty apartment. So he goes to his apartment, and everyone's just, like, hanging out outside his apartment, like, hey, you fucking skin tard! And then he, like, goes in, and he has this, like, this hot fucking, like, hologram who's just like, hey, you like this outfit or this one, or none? And then it's just like, yeah, it's pretty cool that she's all into him and he's all happy. I guess he doesn't really smile, but then after that they call him in like, yeah, the piece of shit was like a bunch of bones, and he's just like, all right, I guess I'm interested because I'm a robot. That interests me, I guess. So then he fucking goes. He goes and like looks at it, but for some reason he's like the smart one. They're looking at it like, yeah, she's bones, she died. And he's like kind of looking at it, but what about this fracture? Zooms in. So finally, he finds like a serial number. He's like, oh shit, it was a replicant, and she died childbirth. Ooh, this could be bad because like shit's gonna go south if everyone finds out that this replicant had a kid. Because either a human fucked her or a replicant fucked her, but one of them, who knows, right? It was either like Westworld went wrong, or like they have their own like digital sperm, I guess. But so anyway, like who programmed that? But anyways, so once he finds that out, then he has to go like because I honestly like it was so drawn out. I don't really remember like how it all like went, but he has to go figure out like what's going on with the kid. Or like wherever that was. So he goes back and he finds the date on the somehow he just like looks at the tree. He's like, wait a minute, it's like not buried at all. He's just like, oh shit, that date, and you like realize it's like a significant date because he kind of like freaks him out. And he goes back and tells the officer, he's like, I went there. I forget what else he said he found, but he's like, I burned the place. Okay, well, thanks for that. It was kind of weird that you did that, but. Great, right? Just make sure you find out what's going on with this kid. So then she's kind of like, she's weary of him, you could tell. She asks like about his like dreams and shit. And he's like, yeah, I had this like horrible dream.
She was hitting on him.
Oh, she was hitting on him? Oh, okay. So she's the only human on Earth, and she wants Ryan Gosling dick, whether it's fucking replicant or not. And so that's what that is then, okay? So then she wants that, and he tells the dream, and then the hologram chick's like, wow, you've told me that a million times, but you didn't tell her about the date on the thing. And then you end up like being like, oh, okay, it's like him, like, so it actually happened. And then I forget where it goes from there.
He goes to San Diego.
That's when he goes to San Diego?
Yeah. Because that's where the orphanage is.
So he finds out
He goes to the Wallace place first.
He goes to the Wallace place, right. So he goes to the Wallace place, gives them like the hair to figure out what the fuck is going on with this person. Then he goes, yeah, right. So then there's a scene with Leto just like floating with shit, like literally talks about God knows what, kills a fucking replicant that you're like, okay, I guess that's like what is that? Like
He just came home to stab a chick.
right, like she gets birth, and you're like, oh, maybe she's significant. She's not. And then so then he goes to San Diego, and as he's flying, by the way, he's got like no emotion the whole time. I get it, he's a robot, but it's just like literally no emotion the whole time. And then there's a scene in between where the whores are like hanging around, and this like shadow whore was like, oh fucking. See how big his dick is if you could do that. And so they go over and like, the three of us, one dick? And he's like not into it, so then they're like, alright, he's not into it. And then that would have been the end of that unless the hologram wanted to fuck. That would have been it. Their resistance plan's like, well, fuck, we didn't bug him. So then they go to San Diego. That would have been it. They would have found him in Vegas and just like, shit. He likes holograms, but anyway, so flying to San Diego in very like foggy like flight, and he gets there and he gets like shot at. He's like, "Ugh, sucks," because he doesn't have any emotion. He's like, shot more.
He was not like very concerned.
No, he was
not very concerned. And then, okay, and I got sorry, it was a message. And then like he completely gets shot down. And as he's going down, he's just like, like no fucking emotion. He goes down by just like fucking, I don't know, like the people that are just living in rubbish. And then so
the Jawas.
Yeah, so they go down and you see like the hologram. She seems a lot more concerned about it. Like, hey, fucking, I'm freezing up. And then she disappears. Jawas come out, and then you think there's going to be some sort of importance to them, but no, they just all shoots the three, and then the satellite from above just bangs them all or blows them all up. Because they're watching him, they're like, we can't fuck around with these Jawas. We need him to find this kid. So the Jawa part just had they could have just had him land and then seen that he was following them or whatever. So,
it literally was like, we can't be fucked with these Jawas.
Fuck these Jawas, we're fucking find the kid. Find the kid. We can't I don't care. Don't go to their village. Don't do it.
She even says that. She's like, get up and do your fucking job. And
find the fucking kid. Fuck this guy.
She even says that.
Right. It's just like,
get up and find the fucking kid.
She's just sitting there watching. Like,
you couldn't have dodged a Java bullet.
Jawas, dude.
Because of sand people. Fucking sand people every
this
time.
Shit. So then that happens. He's like, all right, I guess I'm going for this kid. He goes to the fucking San Onofre like nuke thing. And he opens the door. I don't even know how he found that spot. Like, was there a fucking navigation that told him to go to that specific spot? I guess it was the orphanage.
On the DNA stickers, it said that's the orphanage and that's the orphanage.
Gotcha. So the orphanage was in the fucking old nuclear plant. Cool. So then he opens up the fucking door and there's just a bunch of kids sitting there. Like they would be being quiet at all. They're just sitting there looking at him, and then literally, like, it's not even like they open a door. Just to the right is like a fucking factory of loudness, but it wasn't loud when they opened the door. So there's just all these kids that are just like, you're here, come here. Like, why wouldn't they be working too? I don't know. So he goes there, and then fucking
mandatory 15
break time.
Yeah. So then fucking Morgan from Walking Dead is just like, hey, kids! Get to fucking work!
Like, he was like, extra bad shit, crazy.
Extra bad. Like, all they're doing is working, and then one of them like drops a thing, and just like, oh, clearly that's gonna be 50 lashes.
Usually it's a whipping.
Yeah, like he couldn't wait. He was actually like stoked he dropped the thing. So then he's like trying. He's like, hey, you're just here for no reason. You want to buy one of these kids? Look at them. They're working. They're doing great. And then he's basically like, no, I'm the cops. Wow, well, shit, I don't have anything for you here. And it's like, well, do you have any records?
He got so whiny when that happened. He's like, I stick to myself.
Yeah, I do. I don't hurt nobody.
He punched him, right?
He didn't punch him yet.
He got whiny before the punch.
Yeah, so whiny.
So that deserved a punch from the whininess to begin with. And he's just like, well, I don't give a shit about the kids right now. I'm not turning you in. Can you just tell me what your records are? I'm looking for one kid. Just tell me if you have records. Nah, I haven't got any records. It's like, okay, you get a fucking punch in the face because obviously you have records. It's like, you get punched in the face. So he punches him in the face and he's just like, okay, fuck, you get the records. Like, we could have avoided that.
It was definitely one of those things where I was thinking, like, why don't you just keep the fucking records? Who gives a shit?
Like, what was he hiding it for? Yeah. So he takes him, he's all like, checking his nose because that punch sucked. He's still like fucking checking it. And Ryan Gosling's like, oh shit, this is the memory that I had. And he's like, well, you gonna come look? I mean, you punched me, so you gonna come look at these records? So he takes him up, and then he's fucking going through, and there's a bunch of pages missing, and he like squirms off, like I didn't do it. And then, there's your records, and he just squirms off. Like, I don't know why he wouldn't expect another punch for like, there's more records somewhere. Tell me what you know. Like, who came in here to rip them, but whatever. And then so he goes through and he's all pissed because there's no fucking records. And he's sitting there for a long time looking at the no records. And then there's like an ashtray next to him that he just turns. And it's like, is there a logo that's supposed to be like...
It's a horse.
It's a horse? Was that what it was? Okay, so he turns it and there's a horse. There's
Hard
horses
to
there.
tell.
So that's when he goes and finds his horse, or the other girl's horse, whatever. So he goes and finds the horse and he's like, oh shit, it's here. I gotta figure what the fuck out, if this is a real memory or what. And then he goes back and then the hologram's like, I told you you were special. Like, that's your real memory, Joe. And he's like, don't fucking call me Joe. It's a really stupid name. Think of something better, please. And then...
I definitely was thinking the same thing. Like, Joe?
Yeah, it could have been such a cooler name. But anyway, so they go to like the memory place where the girl is somehow living off of digital. Like, it just seems like that's just her in the cage. Like, there's no guards, there's no, hey, here, come to the cage.
Apparently she was an upgrade center or something?
Whatever, she's just in a thing, like, just creating, like, fucking memories, I guess. So this person liked to look at insects, and then...
Well, she was working with Wallace.
Right.
She creates
She's
memories
for the
replicants, and
Right,
she
under
has to live in a bubble because she has a compromised immune system.
Right. And she didn't want to actually get sold by him because then she has no freedom or whatever. Even though
Does she actually have one though?
I don't know.
Have
It feels like it was something that
or
she
is
was
it like
told.
it's a lie that to keep.
Feels
I don't
like a
think.
lie.
I think it's a lie. I think it's clearly a lie because then Harrison Ford's gonna probably like let her out or something like that in the new one. So he goes and she's making a fucking birthday cake memory for a while. There's a bunch of kids that like appearing and disappearing, and she's like blowing out the candles. She's like, "Yeah, tell me your story, but I'm gonna like look at my phone for a bit while you do." And then she's doing that, making memory, and then he's basically saying like, "Hey, can you make like shitty memories, or are they all happy ones?" And then she's like, "Well, I can like look into your head if you just look through here." So they look, and she gets the memory, and she gets all sad about it. We think it's because it's like a sad memory. She's like, nope, that happened to somebody, but we don't realize that it's her yet. So then he shows the only emotion he showed in the whole thing, where he just kind of gets up, okay, God damn it! Smacks the chair, and then just like walks out. And then after that, then I think that's when he gets arrested. Yeah. So there's a cop car that comes down. Hey, you're under arrest because you're fucking around and you're supposed to be in your like skin house. And then so he gets like arrested, and then he takes the new like test, and he's like clearly like not on baseline, which is like he just should be just straight robot, and he's clearly like conflicted with shit. So then she's like, "What the fuck you doing? Like, why are you being a weirdo?" And he's like, "Hey, I killed the kid. Your bomb has been defused." And she's like, "Oh, okay, well, all right, well, good. You're off baseline. That doesn't fucking matter. Just go fuck off for 48 hours because you're gonna have to do a new test."
No, I thought they were gonna go kill him, right?
Well, she said
definitely let him.
she said that he was going to get tested again.
She said, "I can get you off the base alive, but after 48 hours, it's like kind of like."
She said you retest.
You gotta
Oh,
retest.
you retest.
Yeah, and if you fucking fail your retest, like there's nothing I can do.
Gotcha.
Yeah, obviously after the test they went to her, and she could have, I guess, been like, he's killing, fuck him, right? So she got him off, and then he goes to the fucking apartment, and the girl's just like, "Hey, this might not be a bad time, but I kind of want you to fuck me, but I can't get fucked, so I'm gonna try to pretend to be this like whore that I ordered somehow."
Yeah, that wasn't clear how she
Uber whore.
Uber whore, yeah. That was the fucking the noise. And,
Uber whore's here.
so she gets there, and then it's just like
Go for a ride.
he's looking at her like, "I don't want to bang this person. You're clearly hotter." And then she fuses into her. And it's like, "Oh, okay. I guess this could work." And then they
It doesn't
start.
really work, does it?
No, it's all off. And then she's wearing a different outfit. She could have clearly switched to the same outfit.
Not until the very end. And he seems like
Not until the
But then
very
goes
end.
for the strip. It's all different. It's like,
Yeah. So then he
Arms and hands
he
everywhere.
clearly bangs her. So obviously he wasn't like conflicted. Like, no, you're real enough. He was just like, okay, well,
Turn off the lights. Close your eyes.
I'll bang her, right? So then he bangs, and then he's like gone, like making breakfast or some shit. And she wakes up, bugs his jacket, which for some reason the hologram doesn't notice. But then she ends up going like, "Hey, okay, you're trash. I've used you enough. Get out." Like, okay, fine. I think she says something like some little jab to the hologram. Right?
You ain't real.
Yeah,
I've been in you.
Right, yeah. I've been in you, and he's been in me, not you, bitch. So then she fucking like leaves, and the hologram clearly is like, fucking bitch. And then Ryan Gosling comes up and he's just like, we won't talk about last night, but shit, we got to start doing something, which is where Vegas comes in, right?
Right.
Right. So he goes to the local like merchant who has like everything, I guess. You want a horse? I can get you a horse. You want a pony? I can get you a pony. And he's just being like, yeah, it's old wood. Old wood. Okay, cool. Where's it at? Well, it's fucking, there's radiation on it. It's old. All the information I need to know, right? You want a horse now? He's like, no, I don't want your fucking horse. So then he knows it's in Vegas, because Vegas is old and radiated, I guess. And so he goes to Vegas where it's like really orange. It's fucking super orange. And then that's when the evil girl, the evil like replicant who's like with Wayland, goes in. By the way, she's killed a lot of people along the way. Yeah, Wayland. Yeah. She goes with Wayland, and then she goes to the horny boss, the police officer, and she's basically like, "Hey, where is he?" And she's like, "Well, I'm not going to tell you, even though it was clearly just on the computer, just like turned off." And they have some weird altercation where she's like, "You're not finishing that drink, and I'm going to kill you." And it's like, "Okay, do it." And she cries, but then kills her. And then has a really fucked up way of like scanning. She like puts her face through the scanner and then just like slams her head on the table and she's done with her. And then she's like, okay, he's in Vegas. So then you know they're coming. And then he goes and he's walking through Orange Town for a while. There's giant like naked statues, which I'm like, was that a thing in Vegas? I don't remember that. Giant naked statues. He finds a bee on him, when I first saw that, I was like, no, there's no way the bee would find him out of anything. And then it turns out it's just like a beehive nearby to indicate that things live here. It could have just been, I think, plants, maybe, hopefully. Whatever. So there's bees, they're making honey in their one area. That's just what they're doing. They're making honey and they're feeding off of sand, I guess. So he finds the place, the one hotel, like, I don't know if like the merchant guy said it's at that hotel, but he finds Harrison
He was
Ford's-
able to scan.
Oh,
Like
so he
light,
scans
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Okay, that's what it was. Okay, so he scans, he goes down there, and he's walking around. It's very old school. There's old chairs, nothing really futuristic. He finds a piano, which was like a callback to the piano from the past, that like where the key didn't work, but that I didn't mention. Then there's some
that keyword.
yeah, there's some spooky fucking dog just sitting there, and then all of a sudden you hear Harrison Ford being like, "Hey, like, what's up? Like, what are you here for?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm not here to kill you," kind of thing. And then Harrison Ford just like.
It was actually way more awkward. He's like, you got any cheese?
Yeah. That's what. Yeah, it was like
I like
cheese. I like grilled cheese. And it's just like, haven't had cheese in a while. But there's some honey out there if you want. What's up? And then somewhere in between, he went to see the guy who knew who Deckard was. I don't remember where that fell into place. But anyway, so he's like, nope, no cheese, fuck you, and he shoots him, and then the dog seems unaffected by any of this.
The dog never comes into any type of play.
Any type of play. So he falls into like fucking Elvis stage land. It went from like wherever they were to there. Oh no, he fell, then he moved, and that's where he was hiding. So he was hiding there, and then he still was getting shot at, because Harrison Ford was missing, and to where I thought, I didn't see the old Blade Runner, but I thought being like, oh, so I bet like if this was his movie, he'd be making all the shots, but now he's the guy that just misses.
No, he missed that.
So he misses a lot. So he's a misser. Okay.
He's not a good replicant. If he is one.
Not a good Blade Runner.
So he's still. So then the sound there would keep getting loud, and like it would keep happening whenever there would be like a fight scene. They fight, and then I think he like decks Harrison Ford or something. And he's like, "Hey, I'm not gonna fucking hurt you. So get in your shots to prove that I'm not gonna fucking hurt you." So then Harrison Ford's just punching him all angrily, like, and he keeps punching him, and he's like, okay, all right, do you want to fucking keep doing this shit, or do you want to get a drink? Well, I'll take that drink. It's some like weird like comedy moment that wasn't really that funny. So then they go, and they're having a drink, and then Harrison Ford is telling him about Vegas and how it was cool, and then he's giving him all this information, and then when Ryan Gosling's like, hey, can you give me information that I care about? And he's like, ask away, ask your questions. He asks a bunch of questions. No answers are coming out, and Harrison Ford's just like, too many questions. And it's just like, okay, we'll answer one of them. No many answers. So then that happens. He's pretty much asking questions that are clearly like getting to Harrison's like memories and shit. And so he like walks off pretty much like, fuck you, I think, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then they're like looking around his place. And by what I mean by them is Ryan Gosling and the hologram, who now is in a stick that if the stick breaks, she's dead. Which is like such a red herring, or not a red herring, such a like foreshadow, yeah. So anyways, then something happens. Oh, basically they're just coming because they know where he is. They're just coming, and then like it shows up on Harrison Ford's scanners, and then he comes out. And you're like, "What'd you do? Who'd you bring?" He's like, "I didn't bring shit. There's just I came alone." And then he's like, "Oh fuck!" So then they're trying to run. Harrison's just trying to fucking run and hide. Pretty much. There's no like plan to like take him down. He's just gonna go to his car. And then Ryan Gosling breaks through the wall and stops him because then they blow up the car because it would have been him, I guess, getting blown up, which kind of contradicts what the guys were coming to get them for anyways, but whatever. I think Wayland would have been pissed if Harrison Ford was dead because they wouldn't have like known. But anyways, so then after that, then a couple like ass kickings happen, and then Ryan Gosling like kills everybody but the important girl, and she fucking does like kung fu stuff, axe kicks his fucking head. And then they take Harrison Ford, like, ah! They drag him away. The dog doesn't give two fucks. And then he gets flown away. Oh, yeah. And in the middle of the ass kicking, that's when the girl kills the hologram. The hologram's like, no, don't kill me, I'm hot. And she kills her. And then that sucks for Ryan Gosling. And then Harrison Ford's getting, like, fucking flown away or whatever. And then the people who are tracking him, the whore, and, like, the garbage people, they all come.
Garbage people?
Yeah, it's clearly seem like the garbage people. They come up and they're basically just like, yeah, fucking replicants are cool, we're not slaves, we can fucking procreate, like, you should help, I think. And then it's just like, yeah, but I'm not a replicant, it was fucking my memories. And then it's like, what? No, not your memories, it was a girl. It was a daughter, you're just a fucking replicant. Enjoy that. Remember when you thought you were special? And then, so then he's like bummed about that. And then, so then they go to fucking Wayland's fucking wacky emporium of floating things and like fucking like waterfall shit. And then he's basically just being like, hey, Harrison Ford, wouldn't it hurt if I was being a dickhead and playing old memories? Yeah, you remember Rachel? Did she feel good? Did she taste good? Well, did you like her voice? You hear that? That was fun, wasn't it? I don't want to hurt you, but here's all these memories, and here she is. And Harrison Ford is basically like, yeah, that's not her. She's fucking, or whatever. Her eyes were green, so this has no effect on me. That pisses him off. And then he walks like, he's like allowed to walk away to get in that like shot in the frame to be like, she's not good enough. And I don't know what happens to him. I don't know if they just like, all right, you're going, they whatever. I don't know if they knock him out or something.
They blow fake Rachel's brains out. He shudders to that.
Yeah.
And then they say, you don't know pain yet.
Right, and you're gonna know pain. And then he doesn't learn that pain at all.
Where were they taking him?
Off-world, where Wayland has the tools to make him say what he wants.
Oh, okay. All right. So then he's being carted over there by the angel bitch and then the other stuff. And then after the pep talk from the other replicant garbage people, he comes back and he's like walking around. He's all just like forlorn. He looks up. There's a giant hologram of like the model of the hologram, right? Like the person you loved. She's all fucking nude. That's like the way they advertise her. She's like, here's this fucking giant vagina walking at you. And he's just looking up and she's basically like, hey, like calling him Joe, making him feel not special, I guess.
Ruining it even more.
Yeah, so he's sitting there and then he starts to reflect on the things that people have said to him, like Batista being like, you haven't seen a miracle. And then he reflects on the, like, hey, kill yourself and then you'd feel human. Like, or do a noble cause and die for it and you'll feel human or some shit. So then he's like, okay, sounds good. And I don't know how he tracks Harrison Ford.
They're going off-world, so he just, I assume, just waits for that people to travel towards the
break point, right?
Yeah.
So the next scene is pretty much that caravan, right? He doesn't go back to his apartment.
No load up scene.
He finds them, shoots them.
So next scene, all of a sudden his like his car has like fucking blasters on it, and he's just fucking blowing people down. All the other people that were there, he blasts, and he blasts them enough to where they have to like fall into like the ocean, I guess.
I don't know what the.
Yeah, I assume that's the ocean. Like that waterfall that
They
we're
can
seeing
stand in it.
is like the so it's the dam between Los Angeles and the ocean, and they went on the other side of it because in the ocean is the launching pad to go off-world.
Okay, sure, that makes sense. I didn't know that at the time. They land and I'm like, oh, it's wet because of rain. But then he's sinking, even though they can like walk around there.
Yeah, they kind of made it back to basically the dam. They're like right here, just before the fall off into the ocean.
It was all dark and gray. All dark and gray. I couldn't see
I don't know how
any
you
of that.
caught that.
I saw it once and I
It was fucking clear as day.
Really?
It was so easy to see shit.
Well, there
Yeah,
you
it was
go.
confusing.
I couldn't even see him in the water this time.
Yeah.
You could see him swimming in the fucking
Needed that
on
IMAX
Friday.
feeling.
Wow. Anyways, so then they land, and then she's getting ready to gear up and fight Ryan Gosling. He gets out. He's shooting all the pilots, and so she can somehow dodge the bullets because she's the enemy. And then she gets out and like tackles him or something.
Whatever. Yeah, they fight.
They fight. They're fighting, and then while they're fighting, it keeps panning to fucking Harrison Ford, like slowly, like going more and more under the
It was
ocean.
funny that he didn't try like
He wasn't like trying to get out.
until he was like, bump, bump, bump.
Yeah, no, the entire fight, every time it just pans over to him, like, yeah, remember him? He's about to drown. Is he just going out like that? So then she thinks she kills Ryan Gosling. She goes back, and then it's like, I don't know, trying to get Harrison
I don't
Ford
know. She does.
out of there.
I remember she like stabs him. She's like, "I'm the best."
Yeah, I'm the best replicant,
Bum, bum, bum,
bitch.
bum, 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 bum.
Yeah. So then she goes back. I think she's trying to like get Harrison Ford out of there, and then he sneak attacks her, drowns her.
In a shitty way.
In a shitty way, but the entire time this is happening, it keeps panning back. Like they're drowning, and then Harrison Ford's just in the back, like, "Whoop! Whoop!" like, can you kill her faster? Whoop! Like, it's gonna be me soon. So that happens, and he gets Harrison Ford out. He takes him to the shore, I guess, because they're sinking somewhere. But they're at the back of the shore, and then he's just like, you didn't have to save me, or something like that. He says something like, you didn't have to do that, or whatever. It's like, yeah, want to see your daughter? And then he's like, okay, I guess so. After all this fucking making sure she's safe, let's go see her. Well, everyone's been tracking you, everyone's been tracking me, but let's go to where she's at. So then, that's the next scene, I think, is they're in the snowiness, and it's a long, drawn-out scene, and they get out, and they're standing there, and then Harrison Ford asks a question to Ryan Gosling, and he doesn't answer it, because they don't like to answer questions. Basically, it's like, why'd you do this? Something like that. He's just like, let's just go see your daughter. Okay. Good answer, good conversation, great. So then he goes in there to see his daughter, then Ryan Gosling is just kind of like, oh, wait, right, I got stabbed, huh? Is this a good time? Is it a good time? Okay, all right, well, I'll just get down on these steps, give that death check. Yeah, those are the stabs, and maybe I'm dead, maybe I'm not. Maybe if it's popular enough, I'll be in the next one, whatever. And he, like, dies, and you just see Harrison Ford walk into the room, slaps his meaty hand on the wall, and it's just like, oh, there you are. I don't even think he says anything. Does he even say anything? Like, she's like, hey. Like,
She says, "Be right with you."
be right with you. And he's just like, oh. And then credits.
Credits.
And then it's like, dun, 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 and everyone's like, man, there's going to be a post-credit scene. What's going to be the post-credit scene? A horn and some ominous thing?
Gosling getting up going,
Right. Or like something like Waylon just being like, shit. Like cutting another fucking like womb open. And then it ends, and then you're just like, oh. And then you come out and you hang out with your friends, and they all think it was great, and then you go eat Red Robin and drown your sorrows. And that's Blade Runner 2049.
love it. I love it.
Well,
The speed rundown's the best.
see you in a fortnight.
In a fortnight.